Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching this in the world. I hope you guys are doing okay. So today is going to be one of those videos where I celebrate a victory on Tekken. And this one meant a lot to me because, as you guys know, I've said it multiple times, I'm very uncomfortable in this game. And I'm not comfortable with Fang, although I feel like in the last couple of days, maybe the last week, I've hit a new level with him. Like, I'm understanding the character a little bit more. I'm figuring out how to play the character more effectively, and I find that I'm doing a little bit better with him. So first of all, I want to give big shout outs to a couple of people that helped me along this journey, even if they don't know that they did. Firstly, there's a player called Ruse that comes into my streams, and most of the time he beats me, and most of the time it's a pretty bad beating. But I always enjoy playing him because he's one of the better dragonov players that I've played, and through playing him I've gotten really good at fighting dragonov, just in being more inviting with dragonov players, because I know dragonov is one of those characters you just don't want to run into, and because he's so powerful you're going to run into him. But because of Ruse, I'm able to understand the matchup a little bit better and figure out more effective ways to deal with him. So I'm looking forward to fighting Ruse again. The last 3 times that I fought Ruse, he beat me quite badly. The first time we played, I beat him I think twice, but he just caught on to what I was doing and he kind of just made quick work of me. But since then I've improved quite a bit, so I'm looking forward to fighting him again. So shout outs to Ruse and thank you for the games. Also want to shout out Royal Mel. Royal Mel is a great player that I don't think I've had the chance to actually play yet, not that I can remember anyway, but he's invited some very strong players into my live streams who I've gotten a chance to learn from. I'm feeling a lot more confident against Steve now. I remember I was playing one of his friends that used Steve. He's also going to be one of the people that's going to be in the team battle, so I'm feeling a lot more confident against them. There was a couple of other players I wanted to shout. Oh, of course, Hwoarang for inviting me to his Royal Rumble. And I'm forgetting people right now, but as the video goes on I'll remember and I'll shout you out. But I wanted to show these matches with this Hwoarang player here, because whenever you see Tekken Emperor next to Hwoarang's name, you're like, oh god, you're in for a long day. And a long day it was. As you can see here, I'm getting the shit mixed out of me. And it's very irritating. It can be very disheartening to fight a good Hwoarang player because you just get smacked from every single way. And I wanted to show these matches because this turned into a death match by mistake. As you guys know, Tekken's matchmaking system has been a hot mess lately, and so it's been matching me up with people that I would have already faced, that would have faced multiple times, that has beaten me multiple times. And I know that sometimes it can be really disheartening to certain people when you've just fought somebody that has taken like 1,200 of your points, and then the game throws you right back into it. Now I actually like this because, again, I'm an advocate for death matches. I don't actually mind when people beat me in a best of 3, because to me, what I've always understood about Tekken is the longer the rounds go on and the longer the matches go on, the better player starts to emerge. And I know that I definitely become more comfortable as matches go on. I'm a bit of a slow learner, I think, on this game. I find it a bit hard to sort of steamroll people, but obviously, as you can see here, the Hwoarang player took the first game. Now, I'll give you a quick spoiler. The second game did not go much better. As a matter of fact, the first game was much better than the second game. He caught onto my BS very quickly, and he sort of made quick work of me. But as I said, this turns into a death match, so stick around to watch what happens. And it's part of the reason why I always tell people, don't get upset when you lose, don't throw the pad, don't get disheartened. Just take a deep breath, think about what you did wrong, and go from there. Oh, the other player I did want to shout out was BLN Snake. So BLN Snake, I think he might be in my Discord, but I know he's in Sikander's Discord, and he's a very good Zafina player. And I ran into him online the other day. I think it might have been the first or second time we played, and he beat me 2-1. But the beating that he gave me in the second game was quite bad. And I went back and watched that replay because he messaged me on Discord and he was like, you're good, but you're very flowcharty, which is true. Now, part of the reason that is because I haven't actually practiced with Feng Wei since this game came out. I sort of took what I knew from Tekken 7, watched a couple YouTube videos, and then just jumped straight online. So I haven't actually put any time in. So I can see what he's saying when he says you're a bit flowcharty. I do use Kempo way too much. So I went and I watched the matches with him where he basically battered me in the second game. No, the third game, sorry. And then that that really helped me in my matches on Hwoarang stream, because I went up against a Tekken God Zafina. I don't know who the Zafina was, but from what the stream chat was saying, he's a very, very powerful one. It's in the other video I uploaded the other day. As you can see here, just before I continue, he battered me. And then they put me right back in with him, and I was thinking, oh boy, here we go. I've been working so hard to get to Tekken Emperor, and they've screwed me over, but it is what it is. We're just going to do it. I'm never one to shy away from a fight. I don't believe in doing that. All my favourite characters in anime would be disgusted with me if I did something like that, so you just keep going, you know. If you're not good enough to beat somebody, then just take your licks like a man and keep it moving. But I returned that perfect in epic fashion, and I felt pretty good about myself. Anyway, yeah, I was playing on Hwoarang's live stream, and I came across a Tekken God Zafina player who's quite well known in the UK or Europe, I think. The stream chat seemed to know who they were, and I managed to beat them. Now, it was only in one match, so it's not like they couldn't have adapted and beaten me, but when I saw Tekken God Zafina, I was like, oh my god. But then I stopped and I thought about what BLN Snake said, and he was like, stop using Kempo so much, stop going for the same lows over and over again. One of Fang's strong points, or Fang's strongest point, is that although he's not like a lot of the characters in this game where they've got like a string that does 6 hits and it's mixing you up all over the place and gives you stupid pressure, Fang has got really, really good pokes. And so I stopped and I was like, okay, let me reevaluate how I'm going to poke this guy about, because I know that there's certain patterns that I follow in this game, and they're very hard to break because I've been doing them since Tekken 7, and trying to break your bad habits is really, really difficult. So he helped me with overcoming that Zafina matchup, which I was really, really happy about. So shout out to BLN Snake. There's a couple other players I'm going to shout out as the video goes on. I just can't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, as you can see here, I'm doing much better against this Hwoarang player now, which is it's pretty good because I didn't waste any time in going into my next match. I just pressed next opponent, and he's obviously on a promotion match right now, so he's probably feeling himself. He's thinking, yeah, I beat this guy so badly, this is going to be an easy promotion to Tekken God. I had other plans for him though. I wish I could have run into him again, because it kind of sucks that he beat me in the first set, and then I've beat him, well, I'm about to beat him in the second set quite convincingly, so it's hard to know really who's better. He's probably better than me. I just, you know, I caught him off guard. I'm still very uncomfortable in this game, and I know a lot of people are saying that I'm good, but I don't feel like I'm good at the game. I feel like I'm just about skirting by, because I've been playing Tekken since I was a kid, and I love that Akira reference. I love that they have it in like every game and every anime. But I feel like I've got very good knowledge on Tekken. I'm just not very good at applying it, because obviously I've been playing Tekken since the first one. I literally started on Tekken 1. And so I feel like I'm skirting by right now. I think I'll feel a bit more confident when my main character gets here. Again, like I said in the other video, for those of you that didn't watch it, I am not one of those people that can just pick a character that's strong and be good with them. I've got to be having a lot of fun with the character, and then once I feel like, yeah, I'm having tons of fun with this character, I'm ready to lock in. I can do some serious damage. And when I was using Marduk in Tekken 7, and Negan actually, because those were my two main characters and Fang was my third, I got to Tekken God quite easily. Like, I was quite happy with my performance on that game, and that came very late in the game's lifespan, which I was happy about as well, because by the end of Tekken 7 you really only had the really powerful players left. Everyone had sort of like moved on to other games. The player base had evened out, so I was quite chuffed with that. And that's why I say that I feel like I'm struggling on this game quite a bit, but I appreciate everybody's kind words about my Fang. I definitely feel more confident about him. I was definitely feeling better today using Fang, 100%. Even despite, you know, I took a lot of L's, but we just kept on pushing out. I was actually out at work and I was thinking to myself, I'd really love to just upload this Tekken Emperor video now, because I've done a couple of these with my road and my journey through Tekken, and I remember the last one I done, it must have been like it was before I went to Japan, so I think it's been over a month now since I've actually hit a new rank, and that was annoying me. When I was in Japan, I was like, man, really want that Emperor rank. You know, I was just sitting in my hotel room after I'd like spent a bunch of money in Akihabara buying JoJo figurines. But yeah, this Hwoarang player, by the way, with the Jujutsu Kaisen getup, is doing a fantastic job. Like, I was sweating here. I was thinking to myself, come on, man. If he wins this next round, he's going to steamroll me in the next game. I just had that feeling. But I was like, do you know what? Actually, do you know what? Before I forget, one thing that I've realized about myself in this game is that when I was playing Tekken 7, I was definitely more of a defensive, like counter hit sort of player. Like I would look out for whiff punishes and I'd backdash a lot. And I'm still trying to do that in this game, and it's just not working. It's not working. This game is way too offensive for that, and I feel like I'm really suffering for it. So I'm trying to adjust my game plan to be way more aggressive. It's not really the way I like playing, which is why this game kind of annoys me sometimes, because I'd really like to play the way I want to play, but the game kind of forces you to be aggressive. Or maybe not, maybe I'm just not good enough to like get my shit together. Anyway, these are going to be a quick series of clips here against some really good players that I came up against, and on any other day I probably would have lost to these guys, but I was playing some really good Tekken today, and these are just some quick clips to highlight me actually managing to beat these guys. Like some of them messed up, and I definitely like caught a life, and they could have killed me in multiple instances, but I capitalized. That's part of the fight. One thing I love about Baki is that it kind of changed my perspective on fighting. Before it was used to be like, oh, if I had done this thing, then I would have won. But at the end of the day, it's all part of the fight, and the good fight can capitalize. You know, no matter who they're using, even if it is dragonov. This guy was really, really difficult for me to deal with. I lost to him both times. It was another down. They took a lot of my points. But then I came up against this Raven who was pretty tricky, and oh, that's it. Shoutouts to Fallen. Now that Raven's on the screen, I learned a lot about Raven, and I was able to overcome this guy who I've run into before, and he beat me every time. This is also another player that I've run into before as well, and they've consistently beaten me, but I was feeling myself. And who's the lore player that has been teaching me stuff? Like, not directly teaching me, but coming into the stream and playing with me. I believe is it P Slayer? I'm so sorry if I'm getting your name wrong. Slayer P or something like that. But his lore was great, and I learned from his lore, applied it to this matchup, got the W, and I was feeling good on this game. So what I wanted to say to people while these clips are going on is that I know that this game can be incredibly frustrating, and the heat mechanic, I stand by it. I don't think it's a good mechanic. I really hope that they change things up and they mix it up and they add a little bit more nuance to the system, because right now it is getting a little bit mundane. You know, the matches when heat is engaged, it sort of sucks the life out of the game for me. So I'd really like to see them change it up, but try to stay composed, because as much as it might seem like you're not going to hit that rank, if you keep on pushing on Tekken, you will get there. And I absolutely love the fact that I did this to him. So I got hiccups. I was over the moon when I hit him with that. This Kazuya player was really, really difficult to deal with. I'm pretty sure this is not his main character because of his Tekken prowess, but he was so patient and his defense was so good. I did beat him 2-0, but I had to be really patient. And this is, again, something that I've learned thanks to the people that are coming into my stream chat and the people that I've been encountering online and like trying to learn from them and take advice from people on Twitter. You have to slow things down sometimes. As aggressive as this game is, and as silly as that might sound, sometimes when you've got a player that is excellent at defending, you've got to slow it down a little bit. Now I wanted to show you guys this game because, again, thanks to Ruse, I went up against this dragonov player who was very, very difficult to beat, and I managed to get the job done, but it did not come without its trials and tribulations. And so I wanted to show you guys the entire fight, just so you could sort of understand that even if the player you're fighting seems just way out of reach, it is just a video game and you can adjust. You got to slow it down a little bit, which is what I was trying to do here, because he was very good at whiff punish. He was very good at suckering me in, and I was starting to catch on to that. That would have killed me if that had hit me. But whilst the match is playing in the background, I thought I'd just give you guys some updates on what's going to be happening on the channel. So, I mean, things will mostly stay the same. However, that Royal Rumble that I was in the other day with Hwoarang and his friends and the people on his stream, it inspired me to want to do more wrestling style events for Tekken, because a lot of the people on my channel are also wrestling fans. I'm a massive wrestling fan. I've been watching the WWE since I was maybe 3 years old. The first the first wrestler I ever saw was Shawn Michaels, followed by Bret Hart, because my mum was a massive fan of both of those guys. She absolutely loved Shawn Michaels, she loved Bret Hart, and so whenever I would see wrestling, I'd see them two on, but I didn't actually see them wrestle. They were always arguing. They were always arguing over something. Oh, and she was a massive fan of Razor Ramon, Scott Hall. The first match I ever saw though was The Undertaker versus The Undertaker. I believe that was at SummerSlam. I believe the original Undertaker was like out of action, and Paul Bearer went and got another Undertaker, or Brother Love got another Undertaker. I can't remember exactly, but that was the first match I ever saw. So I've been watching wrestling for a very, very long time, and I would really like to incorporate some of that flavor into Tekken. And the way Hwoarang did his Royal Rumble tournament was very interesting. I've never seen it done like that before. It was so much fun. Everybody was really into it. Obviously, I put the video up on the page, but it got copyright strike. Not copyright strike. They claimed it, so it can still be shown to everyone. But it was blocked in some countries as well. So the video is going to be hard for people to see. When they do that, unfortunately, it destroys the reach of the video, which kind of sucks because that was so much fun. So every time we do a Royal Rumble style event, or we do WWE stuff with themes, unfortunately the videos will get blocked. Hopefully the subscriber base grows to the point where, even though I'll make no money on the video, which I'm completely fine about, I at least want people to see it. So hopefully it gets to the point where people are locking in more often, but it sucks when that happens. But I do want to do more WWE style events for Tekken and see where it goes. Maybe like try to figure out a way to do it without getting demonetized all the time, because it hurts the reach of the video, and we want more people to see it. And I had Money in the Bank in mind. I had well, we've got Survivor Series coming up with myself, Tendo, Hwoarang, and Wagboy. Those are going to be the guys on my team. We're still waiting for the other team to get announced. And then obviously there's going to be WrestleMania. I think WrestleMania will be like where grudge matches are settled. I don't know who I actually have a grudge with on Tekken. Like, I don't have any legitimate beef with anybody on this game. I think maybe... No, I don't think I have any legitimate beef with anybody on this game. But if I did, that's where it would be settled, at WrestleMania or Tekken Mania, whatever we decide to call it. I think this is now the second game of this Dragonov player. And the first match was so close that I locked in straight away, and I was like, there's no way. I'm not going to let him just get away with doing that to me. He was very, very good. He's a very, very good player. I don't believe this is the only character he uses. Although he might have just been like going for a downward spiral like I was, because I got knocked all the way down to Kishin before I got to this rank again. And I almost got knocked down to Fujin or Raijin, whatever comes before Kishin. So I was having a very, very bad time. You know, on Tekken when you lose, and then you're just like, you're there, you know you shouldn't be playing, but you continue playing, and you're just like, just take all my ranks, it's fine. And I never understand why I do that to myself, because it's such a pain in the ass to get the ranks back. And now that I'm only 3 ranks away from hitting God of Destruction, which I don't know if I can do with Feng Wei. I'm fairly confident when Hwoarang and Marduk get here. I'm fairly confident, because I have a lot more fun with those two, that I'll be able to do it. That's obviously provided that Hwoarang and Marduk, I keep saying Negan, I miss Negan. That's provided that Hwoarang and Marduk are similar to what I remember. Because if they've changed dramatically, then maybe I won't like them, and maybe I'll be in limbo still. I very much feel like that with Feng Wei. Although I am having a bit more fun with him now that I've tried out some new tactics and I've taken on the advice of several people that have been trying to help me out. I definitely am having a bit more fun with him. I do like getting the rage mail from people. It does amuse me, I'm not gonna lie. It is just a video game, guys. You don't have to get that upset. One thing I wanted to talk about whilst this match was going on in the background is that I actually have a theory for, although I think Dragonov and Fang are the best characters in the game, I think that there's a reason why you see a lot more Dragonov and a lot less Fang. And one thing I've realized playing Fang in Tekken 8 versus a lot of other characters in this game is that he's extremely poke heavy. So it's kind of like you have to pick your moments. And I don't mean pick your moments like you got to be like really strategic in that, but I mean in the sense that a lot of characters in this game have strings that go on for 2, 3, 4 hits, and some of them end in very awkward situations where, you know, you can't really press a button, or they have very spammable things, like for example Devil Jins fly across the screen when he hits you over the head. Although there's ways to deal with it, and on my come up with my way to this Dragonov play, I did actually figure out ways to deal with it. You got people like Lily, or even Dragonov, or a lot of other characters that have these attacks that hit multiple times, and I think that's the reason that you're seeing these characters spammed online and not Fang. In the entire time that I've been playing Tekken 8, I have encountered Fang on one hand. And I'm one of those Fang players. Like, for the character that is supposedly the best character in the game, it's a little bit weird to me that nobody's using him. Like, his player usage is really, really low. I think as of this month, he's sitting in like the 2%, almost 1%. And I'm just like, why is that? If he's the strongest character in the game, why is that? And I honestly think it's because he's not one of these characters that you can spam multiple attacks with. Now, you can definitely mix people up. And when Fang goes into heat, yeah, he turns into a Super Saiyan, there's no doubt about that. But when you're just playing raw Tekken, Fang's kind of like down back 3. It's one hit. He'll go for his jabs. He'll go for Kempo mix-ups, but they're all usually one hit. They don't keep on going and go from mid to low to mid to low. So you're kind of picking your moments. And I know it sounds like I'm coping for Fang right now, but try to understand what I'm saying. And try to understand that it is a reality that not a lot of people are playing this character, and I don't think it's because he's not fun. I don't think it's because Fang's not cool, because Fang is cool. He's kind of like a more hench version of Jet Li. I think it's because he's not actually as easy to use at more intermediate to higher levels than people give him credit for. I think the reason why you're only really seeing Joker perform at a high level with him is because there's so many other Unga Bunga characters in this game where they have so many stupid strings that you can just spam consistently. It's no wonder you don't see him as much. I think this is the same thing with Marduk, right? Because obviously I'm a Marduk main. But even though Marduk was not the best character in Tekken 7, he was up there, but he wasn't the best. We'd give that to Akuma, Geese, Feng Wei, Jin potentially. I realized that people were so scared to fight me on Tekken 7 as soon as they saw Marduk. Like, Marduk would instill fear in people, even though he's not the best character. And I sat there and I thought to myself, why is that? And it's because Marduk, much like a lot of the characters in this game, is very gimmicky, but his gimmicks are viable. They're not like one-off things where it's like, oh, he's going to hit me with it once and then I've got it figured out, they can't use it for the rest of the match. No. Marduk's very spammable attacks are very spammable because there isn't a lot that you can do a lot of the time. And you're forced into situations like when he goes for Valet 2 though, yeah, there's 2 opportunities for you to break it and you can also jump. But there's so much that he can do from it, and then when he gets you in it, you're stuck in a vortex. And so even though Marduk was not the best character in Tekken 7, I'd say he was one of the most feared characters. I feared fighting Marduk. And I would say Akuma was the best character, but I was more fearful of Marduk players. Akuma wasn't easy to use either, so most of the time if you came up against a Akuma player, then you were going to win because he was actually hard to use. So to use him effectively and to use all of his tools effectively, you had to be a good player. So I didn't actually care that much because obviously I was not playing at the level of Super Akuma or anything like that. So I didn't have to worry about, you know, encountering an Akuma player of that skill level. But just before this ends, just want to say I was very chuffed of this victory. I managed to get the W of this Dragonov player. He was very, very game, and I think that was well earned. Now, moving on from the Marduk, Feng Wei, Akuma conversation, this is where my Tekken Emperor dreams were about to be realized. I'm sitting in the waiting room and I'm thinking to myself, who am I going to get? Who am I going to get? And it's flipping Kuma. Of all characters, Kuma. I couldn't believe it. Kuma, I have PTSD because of this character. Now I know Kuma and Panda are considered the worst characters in the game, or like right at the bottom, but they're so rare as well that you hardly ever see them, and because of that you're like, oh man, I don't really know what this character's gonna do. Now because I have a couple people in my Discord that play Kuma, I've learned some things from Kuma, and admittedly I've seen him a little bit more than I have in previous times, but he's so tricky and he hits pretty hard and he's got a lot of stupid gimmicks. And I'm up 1 round here, so I'm feeling myself. I'm thinking to myself, like, come on man, 2 rounds and we can become a Tekken Emperor. This has happened to me before, by the way. I came up against a Panda and I was like, for Jesus Christ man, of all the characters did I have to get the one that literally no one plays? So now I'm just on the back foot because I'm thinking to myself, I need to figure out what he's doing, but I'm making a terrible mistake here because I don't understand the character. I should just be rushing in. There's no reason for me to stand back and try to whiff punish and counter hit and all that stuff. I should just be rushing in and destroying him. And obviously I did rush in there and I got destroyed for it, so maybe I'm giving myself bad advice, but I didn't think that there was any real reason for me to just sit back. I don't know where to block. I'm guessing every single time. I have no idea what's happening, and that's something that you will encounter a lot on Tekken. And you can fight some really good players, and then you'll come up across a character that you've not seen in ages, and they'll make you look so free, and it will dishearten you. I understand how people get disheartened, and now I'm thinking to myself, oh my god, this guy's going to take 1,200 points from me because he's probably going to win both. So I'm trying to lock in here. Now I'm getting a bit flustered. I'm like, shit. But I'm trying to remain composed because I did this before and it cost me the game. I'm thinking to myself, it is just a video game, Mike. You can come back. It's not rocket science. Just slow down, breathe, stop doing Kempo like an idiot. Remember what BLN Snake said? That's what's been getting me killed. And here I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I'm one hit away now. This is it. Yeah, even watching this, I'm panicking slowly. I knew the shoulder would hit there because Kuma's very, very big. So now I'm feeling a bit better about myself. I'm like, okay, final round, be a bit more calm. Don't do anything insane. We've seen a lot of his tricks. And I've realized that Kuma players like staying on the floor. So I'm looking to use that a bit more. And he likes to like duck quite a lot, so I'm using 3-3 because it starts mid. That was a complete guess. I got completely lucky there. Now I'm panicking because I'm thinking to myself, he's going to get me, but I managed to get him, guys. I became Tekken Emperor. I'm very, very chuffed about this. Now I was going to stop, but I think we should go for Tekken God before Marduk gets here. You guys let me know what you think. Anyways, thank you for tuning to the video. I appreciate all of you and all the subscribers, and I will catch you all very soon. Peace.